Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of season 2 of the Random Album Review. Good old 16, huh? Sweet
16.
16.
Here we
All
are.
right. Yep. And this week, Larry, was my week. And I'm not gonna explain it because, bro,
We're here.
it's episode let's see, 22 last season, 22, 30,
38.
30. This is 38 episodes. You don't know what we do by now.
You're missing out.
Yeah.
You're living
But-
under a rock.
Yeah, under a rock. TLDR, we listen to music. We don't listen to the same music. We give an album to the other person. We listen, we talk. Same thing happens next week. Good?
Yeah.
Alright. But this week, Larry, following along our current trend of metal albums.
Yeah, we've had a lot of metal recently.
Yep. You'd awaken something in me, Larry.
I
But
have.
this week I have chosen the 10th studio album by I can't say their name. Before we joined this call, Larry, I sat here for about 5 minutes trying to say their name, and the best I got was Galneryus.
Galneryus? Galneryus?
Yeah, dude. But I try to pronounce that Y, and I sound stupid every time. So, but
Not
yeah,
entirely sure.
yeah. But these guys are a power metal. I mean, what do they say the genres are? Power metal, symphonic metal, progressive metal, neoclassical metal. Which, I mean,
Metal.
pretty giving. They used to be under the label VAP, but now they're under Warner Music Japan. Warner Music. I mean, do I have to say anything else?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, that's
Pretty good for them. But, yeah. So, Larry, these guys have been around for a while. Well, the people in the band have been in the scene for a longer time too. So
yeah. I mean, that's a typical thing, I guess, like in any music genre, but I would say especially in metal and I don't know, people they love playing music and they have such a passion for it. And when you get groups like this that have been around for so long and they've had a core group or a core, member for as long as this group probably has, you get a lot of ideas that start to come out and a bunch of people that just really like playing music together. And in my eyes, I think that's like the most natural in in some cases, that's when you get some of the best music performances. Just guys being dudes, so to speak.
literally guys being dudes. But yeah. So they're formed in 2001. So they're older than us by a year, which is
The
crazy.
band,
Yeah, the band,
not the members.
The members are clearly older than us, probably double our age by themselves. But yeah. So it was formed in 2001 by guitarist and their band leader Syu, Syu, and a vocalist. No, I guess I put his real name here, Masahiro, and he went by Yama B in the group. Yama YAMA - B, Yamaguchi, and they created the band. And Yama B actually left the group in I think 2009 due to like musical differences. But Syu's been in the group since day one.
Okay.
He's still part of the group.
Yeah.
So, like you said, that core member. Yeah, he's been there since
There you go.
day one. Yeah. And he describes the music of their band as symphonic metal, obviously classic metal and progressive metal. And as he said this in an interview, I think, like while they're very much influenced by European music because Europeans got some crazy metal bands from all over the place. They mix it with a Japanese concept of wabi sabi to create emotional music. And now, well, I know you're wondering, right? You're dying to know what the heck is wabi sabi.
I am curious.
I have an answer. In traditional Japanese aesthetics, wabi-sabi is a worldview centered on the acceptance of transience. and
Transcendence.
imperfection, probably. Transience. English is my second language.
I can't visualize it in my head right now. I'm sorry.
You know, English is my second language, ladies and gentlemen, and anyone else is listening.
It's okay.
But the aesthetic is described as appreciating the beauty that is imperfection or imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete in nature. So
Okay.
like nothing, appreciating everything for what it is, even if it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a pretty good way to live. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Or pretty good way to view everything.
I
And
respect it.
it's prevalent in many forms of Japanese art. So I mean, take it as you will. There's a lot of art out there. Some could call it imperfect. Some could be like, this is the most amazing piece of art I've ever seen in my life. But yeah. Yeah. This week though, I chose the album. I think. Wait, did I say wait? I know I said it earlier.
I don't think you
It's the
did.
10th studio album. I said the 10th studio album.
You
but
did
then
say
I just
that.
went,
Yes.
Yeah, and then I just talked about the band. Yeah, the 10th studio album is called Under the Force of Courage. And I remember I sent you this album, and the first thing you said to me was, what was it? Hold on.
He's got to pull up
Being
the
a bad
quotes.
host. I have to. It says I'm typing, I'm not. Probably. The cover for that is crazy, but TY. I reply with, it's a fire album. We'll get to that in a bit.
It's a pretty fire-looking album cover. It's
Truly.
a volcano. That's pretty cool.
True. So in this album, which was released in 2015, is a concept album. You probably understand what that means.
Yes.
And it has a single story. Although, where is it here? He has described, Sue has described that the songs on their first three albums, which are The Flag of Punishment, released in 2003, Advance to the Fall, released in March of 2005, and Beyond the End of Despair, released in July 2006, all tell a story about the adventure of a man named Galnery. And on the first album, he fails to defeat the bad guy and was going to try again on the second. But all his friends died, one after the other, until he was just left. And he fell into despair at the end of the second album. On the third album, he fights with a dragon. About. And the hero and the dragon both die in the end. But on the final song of the third album, called Rebirth, it's about a woman who fell in love with the hero who died before he died, and she was pregnant with a child. And that leads into this. People seem to think that this album could be a follow up of that concept in a way. Like, so it was released in 2006. The album was released in 2015. So the kid is like 9 years old.
I was gonna say, so like the theory, I guess the running theory is Galneri, the original guy. This is his son, Galneryus. I would
Probably.
Yeah, that's the way I'm.
Perhaps. Yeah.
And I'm supposed to believe this is a 9-year-old on the cover.
No, that's his dad. Probably.
Oh, okay,
I have no idea, but
I was gonna say, if this is a 9-year-old, I gotta step my game up, guys.
You ever seen the anime JoJo, dude?
I have.
They're 16, bro. They're like teenagers in high school.
That's crazy. I don't know. I think that's a really cool idea. Like the 3-album trilogy, all telling like a one big combined story in a way, and it kind of closing itself out, but now it's kind of developed into a new idea. I don't know. I think that's really cool.
I don't know. There's not much about it. Or there is, and I haven't looked hard enough. That's probably what it is. But I digress. So their pianist or keyboards, as said on here, person, Hammond organ. Oh, he plays the organ too. Cool. So he composed the songs, the songs "Rain of Tears" and "Soul of the Field," and it was written specifically to utilize Sue's death growl, which is cool.
Very cool.
That was a cool note. That was a cool note in there. But moving on, I should get to the members. So as you know, I'm not gonna talk about the past members. There's been a few, and well, I'm too lazy to put them in. I might mention them, but well, I mentioned Yamabi, but he was one of the OGs. So um, still starting off, Sue, the lead guitarist and backing vocals, and the leader of the group, obviously. He's been around since '01 to present. Hasn't left, hasn't gone anywhere. Looks like he enjoys his position.
He's that guy.
So Yuki, as I just said, keyboard player, plays the organ and guitar, and also backing vocals. He joined in 2003 and has been around in the band since then. But so before they actually had like a whole band, because it was just a guitarist and a singer, they used a lot of like supporting, not in quotes, but like supporting musicians that helped them make the songs, right?
Makes sense.
And a lot of these people have been that kind of people that like joined the group, and then other ones have just like helped them, and then they're like, all right, cool, thanks for the opportunity,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Their lead vocalist, Masatoshi Ono, or he goes by Sho in this group. He's been around since '09, which is when Yamabi left because he was the main vocalist. So when he joined, he took over the vocals, and he has some cool, interesting facts about him too. We'll get into it a bit. And then they have Taka on bass since '09. And before him was Yuto, YU-TO. He was the bass and backing vocals from '06 to '09. And before him was Sui, TSUI. He was bass and backing vocals from '03 to '06. So '03 is when like they actually started getting band members, I guess. So
Started making music.
yeah. And then recently, not recently, in 2020, they got a new drummer. They go by the name of Lea, Lea. They're very new, obviously. Before them was a drummer called Fumiya, and he was in the group from 2016 to 2020. And then before that was Junichi Sato. Sato. He was on the drums since the band, like actually the band was together. So '03 to 2016. And interesting fact, this album is the last album to have him as a drum. So any drum you hear in the song is Junichi Sato. Pretty gnarly, I think. Uh, Back to the main vocalist, or no, main, the only guy that you hear singing mainly.
Yeah.
Sho. I refer to him as Sho. He wrote the opening song, "Departure," for the anime Hunter x Hunter. I don't know if you watched it, I've heard of it, but
No.
it's his voice. And then on their Ace Studio album called Angel of Salvation, the song "Hunting for Your Dream." It's about 8 minutes long, but they're the TV size, which is cuts it down to a minute and a half. Which I mean, it's all you need. It was used as a second ending theme for Hunter x Hunter. So this band has a lot of ties to Hunter x Hunter.
Big
Or
fans.
you wanna, yeah. You wanna get technical? It's Hunter with an X and then Hunter. You say Hunter times Hunter, Hunter X Hunter, Hunter x Hunter. You might get crucified depending on the way you say it, but oh well.
Oh well.
My opinion. So they released this album in December of 2015, and it became their highest charting studio album at 13, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's all I got, honestly. I don't know what else to talk about here.
Oh no, that's fair enough.
I mean, I tried to describe what they do.
I mean, I think overall, because, and it's kind of somewhat common thing among, and like you said, especially when it comes to artists from other countries, and especially countries that we don't know the language of.
Yeah.
It's hard to get information on some albums and on some groups and some members of specific things.
Well,
And in some cases as well, some musicians and some artists, they want to be a little private about it. They want to be able to go on stage and perform, but outside of performing, they're just being people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that's a pretty good covering of, a metal album, because there wasn't a whole lot in my eyes to this album in terms of, I guess, like a meaning to it, at least in my eyes. I just all the songs are really good songs.
Mm-hmm.
The guitar work is absolutely incredible on this album. Like,
Stu was insane, dude.
oh my god. Power metal is just, it is, for lack of better words, it is just a guy on stage just shredding. And
Mm-hmm.
he is just having the time of his life while doing it. I mean, he's probably like sweating a little bit, probably a little
Mm-hmm.
nervous. I can't mess this up. But deep down, he is just probably feeling so much just joy and just passion for what he's doing. Um, all of these songs are really good, and I felt like, in a way, I did get a sense, and now that you mentioned it earlier, I did get a sense while listening to it the first few times that there was kind of a story going on here, or it felt like there was a direction of like change here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like the big giveaway is, like, I listened to it the first time, and then when I went back and listened to it a second time, Premonition, the opening track,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously premonition, if you think about like what that means, it's about
Yeah.
like seeing into the future, seeing ahead of time. That track to me feels like just like a big build into like a story.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then as I kept listening and like looking into a little bit more into like the song titles and like where they're positioned in the albums, or where they're positioned in the album, I can tell like they're trying to tell a story here. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really appreciate this album. This album's really good. For it being an
Told
hour
you.
long, and granted we've had some other albums that have been an hour long on here,
Mm-hmm.
but for it being an hour long album, it didn't drag its feet. Even that 14-minute long song to close the album out, it didn't drag its feet. It was 14 minutes, but I was listening the whole time, and I was locked in. I wasn't
A
just sitting.
lot. Just locked
I
in.
was locked in, and I wasn't just sitting there like it was just playing in the background. Like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this. This is
I can't.
great.
I can't wait to listen to this 14-minute song.
No, it
No,
was
yeah,
just, it's good. This album
yeah.
is a good album, Brian.
There's a whole roller coaster in 14 minutes. I tell you what.
It is. That 14-minute song is a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. So Rob just mentioned this real quick. In 2017, Loudwire. I think they're a pretty notable group. They named Galneryus one of the 10 best Japanese metal bands.
Hell yeah.
That's all I got to add. So yeah. Um. So as you mentioned earlier, yes, this album is 1 hour long. Yes, there's only 9 songs. Yes, the final song is 14 minutes and 21 seconds long. Um, that's all. I mean, that's about it. But
Yeah.
yeah. I'll tell you what though, this album, it. So I don't know about you, but it's like whenever I listen to when I listen to this album, for the first time, and I re-listen to it because this is how I listen to music. I don't save whole albums into my playlist. I save songs that like are like, hey, this is fire,
You
and I
save
save
the
it to my
songs that
playlist,
you
and
want to
I hear
listen
it.
to.
Yeah, and then and then I save it, and then I listen to it, and so I re-listened to it when I gave you this album, and in my head, all I could see was like, I'm a JRPG character. Do you know what JRPG means?
Yes.
Okay. You guys figure it out. But I feel like I'm like the main character, wandering around, fighting these bosses. My end goal is to kill the big bad guy that's gonna beat the kingdom. I make friends on the way. They might die, they might not. Who knows? But literally the whole concept of the first 3 albums.
Yeah.
That's when I hear this album. But no.
This certainly could be a I don't know, this could be a good album to play during like a D&D campaign, like during parts of D&D
Oh,
campaigns.
Oh, let me tell you. Um, they made hold on, where is it? They made songs for they made songs for a game. Not made songs. There's a game called Guitar Freaks XG2 Groove on Live and Drum Mania XG2 Groove on Live, which I assume is the Japanese version of Guitar Hero. Give me a second.
I think
Yes,
yeah, I was gonna say I
it's
think I have heard
literally,
of that before.
literally the yeah, but yeah, and they have some songs on there. Um, they have a song on a mini album that they use as the a song for pachinko game, which is just a an arcade game in Japan, but it's like gambling kind of
Yeah,
a gambling, well, it's like not like a slot machine or anything, but yeah,
a skill game,
um,
quote unquote.
yeah, a skill game, quote unquote. Um, like I said before, they've been used in anime openings and endings. I believe I don't know where it is in here. Oh, there it is. So as I mentioned before, uh, one of their songs on their eighth album, "Hunting for June," was the closing theme. The title track for that album, which is called "Angel of Salvation," is "Angel of Salvation" is a 14-minute song, Larry, almost 15 minutes. It interpolates Tchaikovsky's violin concerto in D major, opening 35, and they use it. And that song is used. And it made the soundtrack to a fighting game, Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasm. So they're quite
They're
for
out in the
like
media.
a soundtrack kind of band,
Yeah,
which power metal just does that. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Gives energy.
it does.
Makes you want to go fight.
Mm-hmm. Especially Raise My Sword, dude. Oh my god.
Exactly. I mean,
Um,
yeah.
but I'm just gonna go through the song titles real quick. So obviously, first song, Premonition, basically a build up. Number two, The Time Before Dawn, another build up. Raise My Sword, getting straight into it. I'm pretty sure the transition between the time, yeah, Time Before Dawn goes from like some big drums and some bass and the guitar into Raise My Sword, which is Show screaming his voice off into the next song. And then The Voice of Grievous Cry is the fourth song. Fifth song, Rain of Tears. Sixth song, Reward for Betrayal. Seventh song, Soul of the Field. Eighth song, Chain of Distress. And ninth song, which is the title track, I believe, The Force of Courage. Yeah.
There you are.
The average time for these songs is probably 6 minutes long. There are two songs in this playlist in this album that are shorter than 4 minutes, and it's songs one and two.
Yep.
But I don't care. It's fire.
Good album.
Really good. So let us move on then. Oop, wrong part.
Let us.
Um, I'm gonna say that. What? So you said it was a good album, Larry. What were some of your favorites?
So, I mean, I think I mentioned it earlier. Premonition. I don't know what it is. I think that song is really beautiful. Like, for it being, I feel like very, very infrequently people. I don't want to say very infrequently. I don't feel like I hear enough people describe metal, power metal, as being beautiful. But
Symphonic metal.
that yes, there are other elements here. You're right. Premonition just I heard it and like because going into this album I was expecting very heavy immediately, like the album cover, the
Based off
title.
the album cover.
Based on the album cover, the title was in all caps. I knew they were a metal band based on like looking at the Spotify page real quick. So I was expecting just like hard hitting straight out the gate, and I heard Premonition, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is awesome! I love this. Absolutely love Premonition."
Mm-hmm.
Raise My Sword. I mean, yeah, yeah. It turns the
Yeah.
heat up on this album.
I mean, Yeah, I mean, it's placed right after like Time Before Dawn, where they're slowly building a bit more up, right? Like
Very
first two songs are literally
slowly.
getting you up, and Raise My Sword is just like
It's perfect.
right in there.
Rain of Tears is really good. And like I said, for it being, and it's not my favorite song on the album by any means, but for it being a 14-minute song, The Force of Courage, it's really good. It is really good. There's a lot of really good songs on this album. What about you, Brian? What are your favorites here?
Um, well, Raise My Sword was the first song that introduced me into this album, so it has to be on there. Um, I like Rain of Tears. Reward for Betrayal is also really good. I like that a lot too. And well, Force Courage, because I found this because I when I listened to it, I thought like the beginning riff of the Force of Courage sounds very similar to Raise My Sword. So I queued them like back to back. No, not very, but not close. But it's like I don't know, pretty good combo right there. You know,
Yeah.
21 minutes right there, almost a half hour of your life gone with just two songs.
Lock in.
But it's awesome. But yeah, um, as you said, all the songs on this album are good. So, do you have any ones you don't like?
No, not really. I mean, yeah. I enjoyed this album front to back, so I don't really have anything. I don't think you do either, Brian.
No, I absolutely adore this album, dude.
Yeah.
It's
I was
one
gonna
of my
say
favorites.
I
I
I
gotta
would
listen
I
to
would be shocked if you did.
I gotta listen to more the other albums more in full because I have like bits and pieces from every album. Well, like most people do,
Now you got to go through.
but I do. But yeah. What are your any clothing thoughts on this?
I mean, like I said, I kind of knew what I was going into getting into this. The album cover, the title, looking into the band a little bit. It was gonna be a metal album. It was gonna hit hard. It didn't hit hard right away. That surprised me. Premonition is a really good song. The Time Before Dawn is really good. It tells a really good story. The entire album. Now that I know that it is, kind of a story album, a concept album. I don't know. This album is just really fun, honestly. And I think pretty shortly here, I think we're gonna see this is gonna be one of our favorite albums so far.
One of the highest in a while,
I
huh?
think so. What about you, Brian? Closing thoughts here?
Oh, dude, when I listened to it for the first time in depth while sitting there waiting for my cycle time to run through, I was like, I forget how good this album is, dude. There's so
It's
much music that comes out and about. Sometimes going back, oh, dude, I like love this band.
it's awesome.
They're
It's
so
great.
good.
It is great.
All right, so on to one of the important parts of this episode, Larry.
Here we are.
This, this is where it comes out. All right, give me a good number, Larry. Would you give it?
I'm gonna give this an 8.75. Very good. Very good album this
All
week.
right, hey, I'll take it. I'll
Very
take it.
good
That's
album
fire.
this week. Brian, bring it home. What are we going with here?
I give it a 9.6.
9.6. Oh man, it is gonna be
I
up there.
I can listen. I could listen to this album, not like back to back to back to back, but I could definitely listen to it more than once in a day
Yeah,
and be like,
it's
mm.
good. It is very good. Front to back. Very good album.
But
Yeah, anything else this week, Brian?
nah, not really. You?
I did want to say something about regarding this season.
Oh, yeah, you can say that.
All right, so here's the official announcement. This is episode 16. Next week, episode 17. This is going to be my last episode leading for season 2. Episode 18 will be Brian's last episode leading for season 2. We will take a hiatus. We're going to gather ourselves. We're going to go to the drawing board. We're going to come back big. We're going to come back new.
We're cooking up some new ideas.
I
Gordon
think.
Ramsay's gonna give us a black jacket
All right, now
and
you're
tell
going
us to
too
go.
far.
No. Come on.
Gordon Ramsay's gonna come into my room, put 2 pieces of bread on the side of my head, and call me an idiot sandwich.
All right. But
But
yes.
we will be taking a short break. We will come back. We will try some new things. I'm very excited. Brian's very excited. I'm excited. I don't know. There's nothing really
We got
much else to say.
some banger ideas. We
Very
can
good
definitely take
ideas.
this up another step. It's
We are excited.
exciting times for two dudes that listen to music
Two dudes
sometimes.
listening to music.
But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the episode, actually no, before that, I highly recommend you check this album out. If you are any type of metal fan or rock fan, I
Give it a listen.
100% you have to. But if you guys have enjoyed this episode, listen to me and Larry yap for the last, I'm gonna say 27 minutes.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
be sure to give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to. We have a Facebook, we have an Instagram. Go follow, like, whatever you want. We have a Spotify and Apple Music apparently. Yeah, give us some ratings in the comments. Let us know you've listened to this before. Let us know what you thought. Let me know if I am a big fool and don't know what I'm talking when I talk to fans. Don't be too mean though. I cry.
A little sensitive.
But
It's okay.
a little sensitive. I don't like when random people talk about me, but it's all right. Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and we will see you next week for Larry's last week for season 2. See ya.
See you guys.